I lay on the operating table, and the chief surgeon was my ex-boyfriend. He looked at my tattoo and suddenly laughed sarcastically. "What's that weird thing you have tattooed here?" "It's your portrait." I was in excruciating pain. My face contorted as I forced a smile. "Handsome, isn't it?" The anesthetist next to me took a peek and couldn't help but burst out laughing. Xiaoli frowned, his long brows furrowed. Through his gloves, his finger traced a line on my lower abdomen. "Tattooed in such a place. Does your current boyfriend tolerate it?" The cold touch made me shiver. I couldn't help but grab his hand. He didn't pull away. At this moment, I felt a slight comfort in my heart. With a voice tinged with sobs, I pleaded, "Xiaoli, can you sew it up nicely later? I just got a few swimsuit brand shoots last month." "I can't." Xiaoli's face darkened, rejecting my request. He turned to the anesthetist who was half watching the drama. "Start the 4, I'll disinfect my hands. Surgery will begin in 10 minutes. 10 minutes passed quickly. Xiaoli, now wearing surgical gloves, returned to the operating table. I took a deep breath and comforted myself. "Don't be afraid. Xiaoli is very skilled. Trust him." "Lin Wuwu." Xiaoli suddenly called my name, and I unexpectedly met his clear eyes. He leaned in close to my ear and whispered, "Since I'm so skilled, why did you still break up with me back then?" I suspected Xiaoli was making a lewd joke, but I had no evidence. Because he was always overly disciplined and restrained, while I had varied interests. Before meeting him, I drank, partied, and flew all over the country. He graduated with a master's degree from a medical university, while I dropped out of vocational school, barely making it as a third-tier model. Due to my work, I encountered a lot of lively people. Over time, I would occasionally tell dirty jokes in front of Xiaoli. But Xiaoli didn't like it. Not only did he not get the jokes, but he probably also found them vulgar. So, we eventually broke up. I initiated it, and Xiaoli didn't try to stop it. Thinking about it still hurts. But soon, I became numb. The anesthetist slowly injected something into my vein. Under Xiaoli's gaze, I seemed to forget my fear and felt my consciousness fading. In my daze, I seemed to hear Xiaoli's voice again. He said, "I'll stay with you." As the anesthesia wore off, my mind was hazy, and I kept kicking off the blanket because I felt hot. Someone patiently covered me again and again. When I tried to tug at my surgical gown, a warm hand gently held mine. In my confusion, I muttered, "Shinemo, turn the air conditioning down a bit, I'm so hot." A cold voice responded, "Who's Shinemo?" "A very handsome guy. Your new boyfriend?" We got a room together, drank, had late-night snacks, and even exercised together. "Lin Wuwu, you're something else. So that's why your acute appendicitis flared up." Halfway through my reply, I finally recognized the man in the white coat with silver-rimmed glasses, clean and aloof from head to toe. It was Xiaoli. He admired my panicked expression for a few seconds, then pushed my bed to the nurse. His tone was cold, especially when he mentioned the words boyfriend. "Patient in bed 07, awake from anesthesia. Hand her over to her boyfriend." "Miss, your boyfriend is so good to you. He's been waiting outside the operating room this whole time." The nurse smiled at me as she pushed me out. I was still wondering where my boyfriend was. As soon as the operating room door opened, I heard Shinmo's earth-shattering, "Darling, it's all my fault for keeping you up all night and making you exercise." My best friend Shin-Mo collapsed at my bedside, crying so hard that his tears and snot mixed, attracting the attention of the other people in the family room. Poor thing, so young. What kind of illness is this? How can exercising at night lead to this? Sigh. Does it need to be said? Look at this tall young guy. I patted Shinmo's back and said sternly, "Good boy, I'm not dead yet. You scared me. I've been waiting outside for almost 3 hours." Shin-Mo wiped his tears, smiling more hideously than crying. "Wuwu, as long as you're okay, I'll call you daddy every day from now on." I raised an eyebrow at him. "Call me daddy now and let's hear it." Shinmo's fair face turned a bit red. He glanced at the nurse and really called me daddy. The nurse and I couldn't help but laugh. Then, I saw a figure pass by us. It was Xiaoli. Shin-Mo stared at his back for a while, then leaned in and whispered, "Did I see that right? Was that doctor the man on your phone screen, the ex-boyfriend you always wanted to sleep with again?" I rolled my eyes at him. "That's none of your business, son." "Daddy, isn't this chance encounter a bit too much?" Shin-Mo regained his usual vigor, teasing me, "Lucky he's not a burn specialist or an orthopedic surgeon. Or I'd roast you, or break your leg." After the surgery, Shin-Mo ate the fried chicken he had just ordered right next to my bed. I watched, swallowing my saliva, and said to him, "Baby, give me a bite. Do you want a bite or a cut?" Xiaoli had somehow appeared at the foot of my bed, his cold eyes sweeping over Shin-Mo. Shin-Mo immediately moved the chicken leg away from my mouth and threw it back into the box. He stood up and fetched a chair for Xiaoli. "Dr. Xiao, tired from making rounds? Sit for a while." My throat itched, and I coughed. Shin-Mo immediately smiled at me with great tenderness. "Wuwu, I'll go to the nurse's station to order a meal for you." Xiaoli said, "No need. She can't eat anything today." "Oh, then Shin-Mo looked at me, clearly wanting to give me and Xiaoli some alone time. What a good best friend of 20 years. I signaled to Shin-Mo with my eyes. "Can you find a nurse for me? Tonight." Before I could finish, Xiao Li interrupted me. He said, "Patient in bed 07, let me check your incision." "All right, then I'll leave you to it. Dr. Xiao, take your time with the checkup," Shen Mo said, drawing the curtains around my bed tightly. Xiao Li and I were left staring at each other, the atmosphere awkward. Xiao Li was serious and meticulous in his work, carefully checking my incision. His movements were gentle, even extending his pinky finger. "What are you laughing at?" He tucked the blanket around me, then dipped a cotton swab in some warm water and dabbed it on my lips. I licked my lips, gathered my courage, and grabbed his coat. Xiao Li looked down at my hand, frowned, and said, "Speak up." I softly said, "Come closer. I just had surgery. My voice is weak. I'm at work." Xiao Li remained unmoved. "Xiao Li, Dr. Xiao." I persisted, my hand inching up his white coat. Xiao Li's throat bobbed, and he suddenly bent down, one hand propped on my pillow, our lips almost touching. "Lin Wuwu, don't test my limits." He said this as he removed his glasses and kissed my lips. My eyes widened in shock. The sun must have risen from the west. Xiao Li had taken the initiative today. His gentle kiss traced my lips, and my hands could only rest on his chest. In the dim, private space, our breaths quickened. Wuwu, there might not be. Suddenly, Shen Mo's head popped through the curtains, startling me so much that I pushed Xiao Li away and accidentally bit him. Shen Mo stood there, and we stared at each other. Xiao Li glanced at Shen Mo indifferently, then gently wiped his lips with his thumb. "Don't let the incision get wet." With that, he left. Just as he was about to go, Shen Mo suddenly grabbed his hand. Xiao Li stopped, coldly pulling his hand back. Almost simultaneously, they both spoke. "Wait, you kissed me." Shen Mo stepped forward and stuffed a pack of cigarettes into Xiao Li's hand, saying, "Dr. Xiao, please help. The nurse at the station said all the night nurses are booked. Can you?" Xiao Li glanced at Shen Mo's hand patting his and frowned. "I don't smoke." Shen Mo froze, then quickly took the cigarettes back and stuffed them into his pocket. Xiao Li ignored Shen Mo, saying, "I'll take care of the nurse issue." "That's great. I'll leave once the nurse arrives." Shen Mo, excited, tried to shake Xiao Li's hand again. Xiao Li dodged, frowning in displeasure. "You're not staying with her?" "Yeah, it's not convenient for me." Shen Mo smiled, winking at me. Xiao Li coldly interrupted, "Then you can leave. Now. Now." Shen Mo looked at the empty hallway outside, confused. "Where's the nurse?" "I'll leave after she arrives." Xiao Li took off his white coat and placed it on my bed, saying, "Tonight, I'll stay and take care of her." Shen Mo and I exchanged glances, sparks flying. So excited that we almost wanted to set off firecrackers in celebration. "That's wonderful. I'll leave right now." Shen Mo said, reflexively offering a cigarette. "Brother, I thank you on Wuwu's behalf." Xiao Li stood there, looking at Shen Mo like he was an idiot. In the end, Shen Mo awkwardly tucked the cigarette behind his ear, smiling at me like a blooming flower. "Wuwu, eat well, sleep well these days, and recover your, energy." I understood the second meaning of Shen Mo's words. I secretly gave him an okay sign, and the understanding Shen Mo immediately left. Not a moment of hesitation. After Shen Mo left, Xiao Li actually pulled up a chair and sat by my bed. I licked my slightly dry lips and smiled at him. "Dr. Xiao, can you moisten my lips again?" "Lin Wuwu." Xiao Li took a deep breath. It seemed he had been holding back for a long time. He couldn't help but say, "You should choose your boyfriends more carefully." "Actually, Shen Mo, your boyfriend won't even stay overnight after your surgery?" "It's not that he won't." I looked at Xiao Li, whose face was slightly flushed with anger, and couldn't help but laugh. Isn't he just sitting next to me, getting jealous of other men? Xiao Li's eyes quietly focused on my smiling face, and he suddenly raised his hand, ruffling my messy hair. His voice, tinged with both anger and allure, said, "Lin Wuwu, flirting with your ex after breaking up, you're heartless." I caught his hand and naturally placed it under my face. Like a kitten, I rubbed against it, smiling. Who is flirting with whom is still up for debate. Xiao Li tried to withdraw his hand, but I immediately furrowed my brows and whimpered in pain. He froze, his voice deep. "Lin Wuwu, I won't be a backup." "Sis, I don't keep fish either." I held his hand and said, "Shen Mo is not my type. You know, my favorite type has always been the cool and abstinent kind, like you." Xiao Li said, "Who told you I'm abstinent? Aren't you? Then why did we only do it once a month when we were together?" Xiao Li chuckled. "Lin Wuwu, is that why you broke up with me?" I didn't answer because that was exactly why. Being with him always made me feel like I was messing with the divine being. I was the one who pursued Xiao Li. We held hands 6 months into the relationship, kissed after a year, and it wasn't until this Valentine's Day that he agreed to come over to my place. Since then, it was like he had a schedule. Routine once a month, no more, no less. I didn't understand. We were both in our prime, but he could always remain so indifferent. A buddy from my studio analyzed it for me, saying Xiao Li had kidney problems. Me, but his stamina is pretty good each time. That buddy scoffed. "Quality over quantity, sis. If it doesn't work out, find someone else. There are plenty who are younger and better in both quality and quantity." I laughed. I'm not such a desperate woman. I liked Xiaoli because he was well-educated and had depth. It wasn't just for his face and abs. I glanced at Xiaoli by my bedside, swallowing hard. He was still as handsome as ever. Seeing me staring at him, he suddenly leaned closer. Miss me? Yeah. Missing won't help. The incision will take at least 3 months to heal. Xiaoli withdrew his hand, which I had been playing with, and said coldly, before you can engage in vigorous exercise. His tone was deliberately emphasized on vigorous exercise, and I knew he was still jealous of Shinemo. I grabbed his sleeve. Shinemo and I have been best friends since childhood. You're best friends with a guy? A normal straight guy would agree to that. He even calls me daddy willingly. Being best friends is nothing. Xiaoli sneered. Nice hobby. Besides, Shinemo isn't straight. Xiaoli's face turned complex after hearing that. I told him the truth. He recently broke up with his buddy. I was afraid he'd do something stupid, so I went to the hotel to have a late-night snack with him and did Lu Ginghong's fitness routine to help him relieve stress. Unexpectedly, it triggered my acute appendicitis. I knew this might be too much information for a straight guy to digest. Sure enough, Xiaoli's brows furrowed, and he walked out of the room. Knowing him, he probably went to disinfect the hand that Shinemo had repeatedly touched. After a while, he returned to my side. He gently placed a thermometer in my mouth. His slender fingers brushed against my nose, carrying a faint scent of disinfectant soap. Next time, call me directly if anything happens. He suddenly said to me. I was stunned for a moment, and then hummed in response. For a moment, the room was quiet. I felt a bit sleepy again, and didn't know how long I slept. When I woke, needing to pee, it was still dark. Xiaoli was sitting by my bed, reading under the dim fluorescent light of the room. His eyes were already red from exhaustion, and I couldn't bear it. As soon as I moved my hand, Xiaoli looked up. He had been holding my hand gently all along. He leaned closer. Why are you awake? I need to pee. Xiaoli hummed and bent down to do something at the side of my bed, until I saw him holding a bag. I realized I still had a catheter in place. So embarrassing, so mortifying. When I was with Xiaoli, I never dared let him see me without makeup. Even at a hotel, Xiaoli in the room, and me in the bathroom next door, I kept all the faucets and showers running, afraid to make any noise. Now, my carefully maintained image as a refined woman was utterly shattered today. Suddenly, I regretted letting Xiaoli stay as my caregiver. My voice, tinged with sobs, pleaded, Xiaoli, don't touch that bag. Xiaoli really stopped, looking up. Does it hurt? No. My face was already red to the ears. Not daring to look at him, I whispered, it's dirty. Xiaoli ignored me and meticulously cleaned it up. Watching him busying around, my eyes filled with tears. Since my parents divorced when I was 4, except for the grandmother who raised me, no one had been so good to me. Xiaoli returned to my side, pulling the blanket off my face. Why are you hiding under the blanket? Seeing my face, Xiaoli was stunned. Why are you suddenly crying so ugly? His words made me cry even harder, tears streaming uncontrollably. Xiaoli, my beautiful image in your mind is ruined. Xiaoli was both angry and amused. Do you think I'm that shallow? I sniffed. Didn't you agree to be my boyfriend because I was pretty and smelled nice? No. Xiaoli answered so quickly that it made me cry even more. The next second, my open mouth was stuffed with a white rabbit candy. He crumpled the wrapper, like talking to himself. Because I liked you. That's why we got together. Because of Xiaoli's words, I regained my confidence. The next day, my best friend Shen Mo brought me a meal. Since Xiaoli had 2 surgeries in the morning, I asked Shen Mo to do a soft, natural makeup for me. Looking at myself in the makeup mirror, I was very satisfied. Shen Mo, you really are a top-notch makeup artist. Not at all, you have great features. Now with my touch, won't Dr. Xiao be smitten tonight? Keep talking like that, I love hearing it. I enjoyed his compliments while sipping on the sweet soup Shen Mo made for me, finishing 3 bowls. But soon after, I felt my intestines rumbling. What did you make for me? Shen Mo laughed. I found this recipe online. Orange carrot water. It's great for relieving gas. Perfect for someone who just had surgery and hasn't. Before he could finish, I let out a loud fart. Shen Mo laughed like a goose, clapping like a seal. Ha ha ha. Great fart. Try another one. If you clear out, I'll treat you to a feast. I tried harder and let out a few more. Then, I saw Xiaoli. He had been standing at the door for who knows how long. Judging by his expression, he had been there for a while. My face turned red, my toes curling in embarrassment. Xiaoli spoke first. Patient in bed 07 has passed gas. She can have a surgical diet today. With that, he left as if nothing had happened. Shen Mo fixed my bangs and said, don't worry, babe. Loud farts usually aren't smelly. Besides, Dr. Xiao was wearing a mask. I lay there, lifelessly staring at the ceiling. Please go to my tattoo parlor and ask the front desk girl to come tonight. I can't face Xiaoli anymore. Shen Mo sighed and left. But he soon returned, saying, woo-woo. I think 2 people who love each other don't need to be so focused on these things. Otherwise, it might make your relationship very tiring. I couldn't listen to it, and Shen Mo didn't push further. He stuffed a few new lipsticks under my pillow before leaving. After Shen Mo left, I picked up my phone and sent a message to my mother, who rarely contacted me. To my surprise, she quickly called me back. I was happy to answer, but instead of concern, I was met with a barrage of scolding. Who said acute appendicitis requires surgery? Can't you try conservative treatment first? Do you want to die? It hurt a lot at the time, and the doctor confirmed that conservative treatment wasn't an option. Your tattoo is bad enough, and now you have a scar on your belly. It's disgusting. You might not mind being ugly, but I do. You're a model. You're worthless now, do you know that? I had endured the pain from my incision last night, but hearing these words, I suddenly felt pain all over my body. Especially in my chest, the pain was suffocating. I bit my lip to keep my voice from sounding too sad. If it really comes to that, I still have my tattoo parlor. I can. Enough. That little tattoo shop of yours can't make much money. Stop wasting your time. Remember to transfer your brother's tuition next month, or I'll expose all your dirty secrets. The call ended long ago, but I still held the phone to my ear, until someone took my phone away. Xiaoli put the most recent number on the call record into the blacklist. Did your mom bother you again? I smiled and said, no. She just heard I was in the hospital and got a bit anxious. Her words were harsh. Xiaoli looked at me. Your makeup is ruined. I was stunned for a moment, realizing my face was covered in tears. I used to not be so sentimental, but for some reason, after the surgery, I suddenly felt like I had gained a lot of insight, a lot of clarity. But the cost of this growth was pain. Xiaoli said, why wear makeup in the hospital? I'm the only non-bald male doctor here, and I'm already yours. I was feeling quite sad, but Xiaoli's words made me laugh. The fish I let go, I need to work hard to reel it back in. When I looked up, I saw Xiaoli staring at me. He reached out and gently brushed away a few strands of hair stuck to my face with tears. Lin Wuwu, have you ever thought that, even if you didn't use bait, this fish would still take the hook? I was stunned. I didn't quite understand what Xiaoli meant. Xiaoli smiled helplessly and affectionately. Let's eat lunch first. It's likely that Xiaoli and I had reconciled. At noon, he personally fed me a bowl of wonton soup and even played King of Glory with me. Xiaoli would weaken the opponents, leaving me to finish off the kills. After winning 3 games in a row, I felt much better. I remember you didn't like me playing King of Glory before. Because whenever you lost, you'd call your teammates little brother. I chuckled. Little brother, being protected by you feels great. Whether it was my imagination or not, Xiaoli seemed pleased when I called him little brother, his lips curving into a small smile. Feeling good? Yes. Good. I'll carry you to the king rank every season. Xiaoli tucked the blanket around me, saying, rest well this afternoon. I have 2 surgeries tonight and might be a bit late. You don't need to come tonight. I interrupted him, saying, my girlfriend is coming to accompany me. You can go straight home after work. Seeing Xiaoli's gradually downward lips, I quickly explained, it's not that I don't want you to come, but if you get exhausted because of me, I'll feel bad. Xiaoli leaned in, smiling. Lin Wuwu, you used to cling to me all night, not letting me sleep. Why didn't you feel bad for me then? Before I could react, Xiaoli had already left. Before leaving, he kissed my dimple. I found Xiaoli increasingly hard to read. He had become more proactive, yet it felt like he hadn't. For example, he seemed to accidentally brush my cheek just now, making my heart race like clockwork. In the afternoon, the nurse reduced my 4 fluids, allowing me to sleep peacefully. When I woke up, it was getting dark, and a tall figure sat beside my bed. He leaned on my bed with his elbow, resting his chin on his hand. His messy bangs shaded his sharp eyebrows and defined features. I was surprised. Guyan, what are you doing here? Guyan smiled, his silver lip ring adding a mischievous touch. The front desk girl had something to do tonight and couldn't come. Buddy, it's not appropriate for you to be here either. It's so late. Instead of leaving, Guyan pulled out a box of cake. He offered it to me enticingly. Boss, you're in the hospital. I have to show my respect before leaving, right? I'll eat it later. I glanced at the door, smiling at Guyan. I remember the last train on line 5 leaves at 10:30. Sis, I drove here myself. Oh. The room fell into an awkward silence. I hugged the blanket, pretending to yawn twice. Weird. Why am I feeling sleepy again? Why are you so eager to kick me out? Guyan leaned closer, his deep voice teasing. Could it be that your quality over quantity ex-boyfriend works at this hospital? Sure. I hastily covered his mouth, feeling his muffled laughter against my palm. Guyan's naturally flirtatious eyes were now filled with laughter. I quickly retracted my hand, and he licked his lips. Sis, we're not having an affair. What's there to be afraid of? Blushing, I said, buddy, to be honest, my relationship with him just got mended today. Seeing me chatting and laughing with another man so late. Guyan chuckled. Got it, I'll leave. Watching him leave, I sighed in relief. But Guyan hadn't even left the room when he ran into Xiaoli. The 2 men, both nearly 6 feet tall, almost collided. Guyan, hands in his pockets, smiled playfully. Sorry, document. Almost bumped into you. Xiaoli adjusted his glasses, maintaining his usual aloof demeanor. Ignoring Guyan, he walked straight to me. I forced a broad smile at him. Half an hour after Guyan left, Xiaoli finally spoke to me. He looked at the cake on the nightstand, seemingly deep in thought. The girlfriend, who just left looks familiar. My face flushed and I laughed awkwardly. Oh, the actual girlfriend from my shop had something tonight, so the young guy who just left is my new tattoo artist, Xiaogu. He heard I was hospitalized and came to sit with me for a while. You find him familiar? Probably not, since he's only been at my shop for 3 months and you haven't seen him before. Only 3 months. Xiaoli looked at me, smiling faintly. We've been apart for 3 months, but it feels like 3 years. Hearing Xiaoli's words, I was stunned. I hadn't expected him to value our relationship so much. I held his hand, softly saying, "Honey, I'll make it up to you in the future, okay? Take care of yourself first," Xiaoli said before leaving. I thought he was shy, but he went to the bathroom and returned with a basin of hot water. He looked at me. "Take off your clothes." The rising steam formed a mist. Holding my clothes, I felt more embarrassed than he was. Xiaoli gently cleaned me all over and helped me change into clean clothes. His hands carefully avoided the incision, wiping the rest of my abdomen. When he reached the tattoo, Xiaoli got angry again. "Don't get any more tattoos. It damages your skin cells and can cause infections. There are many ways for lovers to express their love. No need to use this." Smiling, I hooked my arms around his neck. "So, Dr. Xiao, standing from a medical perspective, what's your preferred method?" Xiaoli was meticulously fastening my surgical gown and didn't reply. I pouted, feeling bored. Xiaoli smirked, finishing the last button. He suddenly leaned down and kissed me without warning. For someone who just had surgery, this kiss was overwhelming. Soon, I had to ask for mercy. He then kissed my ear, his deep voice seductive. "This method is called exchanging dopamine." I grinned mischievously, placing my hands on his shoulders. "This method is pretty good. How about we exchange once more?" Xiaoli didn't indulge me. His fingers brushed my nose. "One more time and you'll sweat." With that, he left with the basin. I touched my still tingling lips with the back of my hand, blushing. The prey was now flirting back. This was ridiculous. Had Xiaoli finally come around, or had I regressed? Even after being discharged, Xiaoli didn't give me a chance to turn the tables. I sat on the bed, watching Shen Mo and Xiaoli help each other pack my things. Finally, I was being discharged, and I felt a bit excited. "Brother Xiao, do you need me to carry anything else downstairs?" Shen Mo, out of breath, leaned on the doorframe, asking. "Yes." Xiaoli nodded towards the 2 large suitcases at the door. Shen Mo finally realized something was off. "I remember Wu didn't have this much stuff when she was admitted." Xiaoli said, "These are mine." Both Shen Mo and I were shocked, speaking simultaneously. "Your suitcases?" My car trunk was full, so I brought some of my stuff up to my office. "Shen Mo, can you please help move them to your car?" Xiaoli said to Shen Mo, then glanced at me. "I'm moving in with Lin Wu starting tonight." Shen Mo pounded his waist, smiling wickedly. Then Brother Xiao, you should take it easy. "All right, I'll handle these heavy tasks. You take care of Wu." Touched, Shen Mo was indeed a great best friend. I grabbed Xiaoli's hand, raising an eyebrow. "Finally made up your mind?" "About what?" "Moving in with me, living together." Xiaoli's expression remained calm, though his ears turned red. "You need someone to take care of you after surgery. I can't rest easy if you're living alone. But I only have a double bed at home, no sofa, no extra bedding for you to sleep on the floor. I've been to your place, I know." Just as I was about to tease Xiaoli further, Shen Mo returned with the 2 suitcases. "Brother Xiao, you brought your own pots, pans, and rice cooker, alright. But why did you bring a folding bed and bedding?" I didn't understand either. "My car trunk is full now." Shen Mo looked at the 2 large suitcases, troubled. "What do we do? Should we call another car?" Xiaoli was about to take out his phone when a voice from the door said, "Sis, if you need a car, use mine." Damn. Why was Guyan here again? And he immediately started taking off his hoodie, lifting his undershirt, revealing a corner of his abs. "And I think that's fine. Woo-woo, let's use the young man's car from your shop." Shen Mo swallowed, saying, "It's chilly outside today, sis. You're wearing too little." Guyan draped his hoodie over my shoulders, tying the sleeves in a knot. From this angle, I could see the tattoo on his waist and abdomen. It was a girl holding flowers beside the moon. The girl had shoulder-length hair, a round face, and dimples when she smiled. Before I could say anything, Shen Mo exclaimed, "Damn, handsome guy, is the girl tattooed on your belly my woo-woo?" I looked up, meeting Xiaoli's gaze. His face didn't look too good. How could it be? Xiaogu has designed so many tattoos for the studio. This girl's mouth is so big, it can't be me. I looked at Guyan, hoping he would explain. Guyan smiled. "It's indeed Lin Wu on my waist." "Me?" His voice wasn't loud, but it had enough impact to leave me stunned. Guyan smoothed down his rolled-up shirt, chuckling. "Don't misunderstand. I just thought Wu's tattoo was beautiful. So I imitated it and designed a similar one. She tattooed it out of love. I did it purely because of my profession." Everyone's misunderstanding deepened. Xiaoli pulled off the hoodie Guyan had put on me, tossing it aside. Just as I was about to speak, Xiaoli lifted me into his arms. He carried me through the hospital, drawing the attention of others. I clung to his neck, wanting to speak several times but holding back, until Xiaoli gently placed me in the passenger seat and buckled my seatbelt. With just the 2 of us in the car, I couldn't hold back. "Xiaoli, I really don't know about Guyan's tattoo." Xiaoli asked back, Who did your tattoo? I was stunned, feeling wronged. Of course, I did it myself. My lower abdomen, not my buttocks. I can handle it. Xiaoli was silent for a moment, then asked, how long have you had it? 2 months. Xiaoli's expression turned serious. His eyes darkened. The car slowly pulled out of the parking lot. Xiaoli stared at the red and white parking barrier, frowning. His doesn't look new. You mean he had it before me? Yes, and that area has many scars from previous tattoos, indicating he's changed it at least 5 times. What? I was shocked. Guyan is that dedicated to his work? Xiaoli was visibly upset. Lin Wuwu, please be more aware of your safety. I still didn't understand, and Xiaoli finally relented, speaking gently. Never mind, I'll be here from now on. Back home, I felt the various benefits of Xiaoli's promise to be here. I couldn't cook, and my kitchen didn't even have proper pots. With Xiaoli around, we had pots and hot meals. The childhood meals I missed out on were made up for by Xiaoli. After dinner, I wanted to wash my hair, but Xiaoli took over. I had an appendectomy, not paralyzed. In my eyes, you've been paralyzed for more than a day. Xiaoli brought a chair into the bathroom. I sat there, scrolling through videos of handsome guys. The lightsaber transformation and neck-touching dance had me grinning from ear to ear. Lin Wuwu, look up. Suddenly, Xiaoli's voice came from above. I reflexively looked up, still smiling, and saw Xiaoli unbuttoning his shirt. His perfect neck and collarbone lines were exposed. I closed my mouth, swallowing hard. Still watching. Yes. Choose one. He nodded towards the sink. Do I even need to choose? I uninstalled TikTok in a second, placing my phone on the sink. Watching Xiaoli's tall figure in the mirror, his long fingers moving through my hair, was a visual feast. Oh, so satisfying. As I watched, my thoughts drifted. What are you laughing at? He bent down, whispering in my ear. I was thinking, will you take care of me like this during my postpartum confinement? Obstetricians don't have kids, and you shouldn't either. Just as I was about to be moved, Xiaoli added, isn't one person enough for you? Xiaoli, what do you mean? I mean... He gently pinched my cheek, saying softly, it's enough to have you as my baby for the rest of my life. To take care of me, Xiaoli took a leave of absence. During these days, he took care of me meticulously, filling my home with everything I lacked. When he opened my fridge and saw it packed with skincare products and masks, he finally laughed in exasperation. Fairy girls really do live on dew. Lin Wuwu, where's the skincare fridge I bought you? I lay on the sofa, eating a banana. It overflowed long ago. Laughing, the next day, my dressing room had a new double-door fridge. After transferring my things, Xiaoli finally tackled the kitchen fridge. He said, external maintenance is important, but internal maintenance is crucial too. The best way is through diet. I smiled and agreed, as long as he didn't turn me into a fatty. Watching Xiaoli, I felt warm inside. After 3 months, having someone nag in my ear was a comforting feeling. After dinner, Xiaoli went on a shopping spree. I stayed home, watching dramas and relaxing. Before long, the doorbell rang. I thought Xiaoli had forgotten his car keys, but when I opened the door, it was my mother, whom I rarely saw, pushing my half-brother in a wheelchair. She wore sunglasses and carried a knockoff LV bag. Today, for some reason, she came herself and brought my brother along. My mom and I had no relationship, and my brother even less. When he saw me, he laughed mockingly. Sis, didn't expect you to look so ugly without makeup. I smiled back. You're 20, and still not as tall as me in heels. Oh? Being short is one thing, but ugly too. You be asterisk TCH. Just as he was about to curse, my mom slapped me first. Unsteady, I fell against the shoe cabinet. Ungrateful brak. How dare you block my number? What? Wanna sever ties? Lin Wuwu, let me tell you, the law doesn't care about this. My mom poked my nose, scolding me nonstop. Her yelling lit up the corridor's motion sensors. I clutched my stomach, cold sweat dripping from my nose. I just had surgery. You really are my mom. Oh, now you feel the pain of surgery? I went under the knife to give birth to you. She shoved me aside, barging into my bedroom without removing her shoes. Where's your bank card? From now on, don't bother sending your brother's tuition monthly. Just give me a year's worth. Just seeing your face pisses me off. I was crouching on the floor, and my brother squatted down too, his chubby hand pinching my face. Sis, mom said you were a child model at 5. Huh, is the modeling world as messy as they say? Get lost. I turned my face away, but he grabbed me again. My brother glanced at the men's slippers on the shoe rack, laughing. Hiding a man at home, are you? Sis, you're so flirtatious. How come you haven't found a sugar daddy yet? Hurry up and find one. I want you to buy me a car when I graduate. I mustered all my strength and pushed him down. My brother, lying on the floor like a turtle, took a while to get up. Furious, he yanked my hair and shouted to my mom, Mom, come quick. I was just joking with sis, and she broke my head. My mom, hearing this, stomped over in her high heels and kicked my shoulder blade without distinguishing right from wrong. Lin Wuwu, do you want to die? Feels so precious after getting sick, and your temper's gotten this bad. Mom, sis is indeed precious. When she was a magazine model, all the boys in my class would fight to see her swimsuit photos. My brother's words were almost in my face. Just as my stomach pain was becoming unbearable, my brother's grip suddenly loosened. He fell in front of me again. The shadow moved away, and I saw a pair of white shoes. Xiaoli likely ran up from the underground garage, his breathing heavy. He stared at my brother on the floor, his face dark with rage. My mom had met Xiaoli before, not just because he was my ex-boyfriend, but also because he had operated on her current husband. She had always been quite courteous to Xiaoli, her savior. She probably didn't expect that Xiaoli and I would get back together. My mom stood there, speechless. "Auntie, is this your and Uncle Chen's son?" Xiaoli expressionlessly took off his watch and silver-rimmed glasses, putting them one by one on the hallway cabinet. "Yes, he is. Dr. Xiao, I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were here, otherwise, I would have brought some fruit for you." Before she finished, the hallway echoed with my brother's screams. I had never seen Xiaoli like this. In my memory, he was always composed, restrained, and controlled. But now, he was holding my brother's collar, punching him repeatedly in the jaw. When my mom, realizing what was happening, rushed over crying to stop the fight, my brother was already bruised and swollen. Xiaoli wiped the blood from my brother's nose on his clothes in disgust. "I don't hit women, but only if those women don't provoke Lin Wuwu." Xiaoli looked at my mom, a cold smile on his lips. My mom, who was tough at home, seemed genuinely frightened by the sight of Xiaoli beating my brother. Without another word, she quickly helped my brother up and left. Xiaoli draped his coat over my shoulders and carried me outside. Every time I shivered in his arms, he whispered an apology. Though he wasn't at fault, when he started the car, his hands were trembling. I teased him, "Your hands don't tremble when you're holding a scalpel. Lin Wuwu, if anything happened to you, I probably wouldn't be able to hold a scalpel again." "Why? If you die, we die together." Luckily, I wasn't as bad as Xiaoli made it sound, but it wasn't good either. My incision had split open, and I was wheeled back into surgery. Blood soaked through 2 sets of clothes as Xiaoli stitched me up again. This time, I was fully conscious, watching Xiaoli the whole time. He was much more silent than the first time. Not saying a word, wearing a mask, Xiaoli's eyes reddened several times over this minor surgery. After returning to the ward, Xiaoli soon followed. He unwrapped a candy and placed it in my mouth. The sweet taste of the milk candy spread in my mouth, relaxing me. "White rabbit candy again?" "Yes." Xiaoli's voice was hoarse. "Because I like it." "Why do you like it?" "When I was little, my parents forbade me from eating snacks, so my whole childhood, I only remembered its taste." Xiaoli looked down, folding the candy wrapper carefully. Finally, he placed a tiny paper star in my palm. Looking at the familiar star, my heart clenched. When I looked up again, my vision was blurred. Xiaoli gently held my hand, smiling. "You finally remember, don't you?" Yes, I remembered everything. I had never forgotten those memories. I just never thought that the tall, slender Xiaoli could be the chubby little boy from my past. After my parents divorced when I was young, I moved in with my grandmother. She lived alone and did odd jobs. Most of my childhood was spent running free. Next door lived a little boy. His situation was the exact opposite of mine. Other than going to and from school, I rarely saw him outside. Their house was always closed up, with a clean doormat and stairs. Even his school uniform was always clean and tidy. While my clothes were washed every 2 or 3 days, and even then, Grandma only rinsed them in well water. Unlike the little boy, whose clothes always had a fresh scent. I liked following him to school, hopping along behind him. One day, his classmates surrounded me, singing Little Slav. I couldn't help but cry, looking at his snow-white uniform. Unexpectedly, he took off his uniform, crumpled it up, and handed it to me. He said, "Try it if you like." I said, "No, I like the smell on your uniform." He hesitated, then the next day, he had half a pack of detergent for me. That night, I heard his mom beating him. It wasn't the first time. His mom often yelled at him at night, even though he was already doing well in school. Grandma said the little boy was quite pitiful. His parents were teachers at a prestigious local school, so they were very strict with him. Grandma told me not to bother the little boy anymore. His family situation was different from ours, and I would only cause him trouble. I listened to Grandma and stopped being his shadow. Instead, every night, I would toss a white rabbit candy over their yard wall. 3 months later, I received a jar full of tiny paper stars. The little boy had folded them from the candy wrappers. I liked them so much, I kept them close. The little boy sat beside me, staring at my brown hair, and asked, "Why did you dye your hair so young?" I told him, "My mom entered me in a contest, and I was chosen. I'm a model now." The little boy frowned. "What's a model?" I gave him 3 more candies, proudly saying, I don't really know either. Mom says becoming a model means I get candy every day. And money. I took him behind a tree to show off the instant noodles I bought with my modeling earnings. In the afternoon, we hid in the grass, sharing a pack. No hot water, just dry noodles. The little boy enjoyed it even more than I did. I couldn't help but wipe the seasoning off his mouth, laughing. "You look like you haven't eaten in 100 years. He slumped his shoulders. "My mom doesn't let me eat these things." I paused, my small hand stopping on his left cheek, which bore a few finger marks. The little boy smiled. "It's okay, I'm used to it. Little sister, I really envy you. You can be free every day. It seemed to be his first time smiling in front of someone. Seeing his smile, I couldn't help but tear up. The little boy envied my freedom, but I envied his family of 3, having someone to discipline him. If I could choose, I wouldn't want this kind of freedom. That day, we made a wish on the candy wrappers. Then we buried them together under the tree. To find them later, he made a small flag from the instant noodle wrapper. But before we could return, his family moved away. Back then, you always called me little brother when you saw me. Recalling the past, Xiaoli's mood softened, his eyes filled with tenderness. I realized why calling other people little brother in games upset him, but calling him made him happy. Actually, could it be because I began, "You never told me your name." Xiaoli immediately said, "It's you who never asked." Then how did you find out I was the little slob? Xiaoli took out a postcard from his wallet. The ink on it had faded, but the girl's smile was still bright. In the lower left corner was my childhood stage name, Little Bunny Candy. I never forgot you after growing up. Xiaoli's thumb brushed the corner of the postcard, his eyes bright. He said, "In the internet age, it's not hard to find someone. One night, I found you online through your childhood stage name. I learned your real name was Lin Wu, a model for a certain company." Hearing Xiaoli's words, I lowered my head, my hands nervously twisting the blanket. "Then you must know about the nasty rumors about me online." Xiaoli Nuda. My heart sank. Then I heard him say, "But rumors stop at the wise. Lin Wu, I don't love you with my ears." I looked up, blushing. His hand gently brushed my shoulder, laughing, "Not with my eyes either." That night, Xiaoli leaned against my bed, letting me nestle against his chest to sleep. Listening to his heartbeat, I slept soundly. In the middle of the night, Xiaoli received a call. Drowsy, I felt him kiss my forehead before leaving the room. I thought it was something from the hospital and didn't pay much attention. But by noon the next day, I still hadn't seen him. I tried calling several times, but he didn't answer. I felt something was wrong, my heart uneasy. The nurse who came to change my 4 bottle looked at me, hesitant. After a moment, she returned to my side. "Are you Dr. Zhao's girlfriend?" "Yes, I am. Dr. Xiao is in trouble." I opened the link the nurse sent me, a video of a certain top hospital surgeon beating someone. The video was posted online late at night, and by this morning, it had already garnered much attention. The video had no beginning or end, starting right with Xiaoli pressing my brother to the ground, punching him. The angle was so precise that Xiaoli's face was clearly filmed. At the end of the video, as my house number flashed by, the footage had been specially edited. My face and the house number were pixelated. Clearly, this video was targeted at Xiaoli. But it couldn't have been my mom or my brother. My mom was technologically challenged, barely able to use a phone. And my brother, who was still in the ICU. The nurse told me that the young man beaten in the video had been stabbed several times, brought in by ambulance at 4 a.m., and was still in critical condition. Xiaoli was the prime suspect, arrested at the scene outside a certain neighborhood. I stared at my phone, my temples throbbing. After watching the video several times, I suddenly realized something. If someone had been holding a phone to film, it wouldn't have been possible. Our hallway was very clean, with no clutter to hide behind. The video must have been filmed by a camera, a tiny, nearly invisible pinhole camera. Thinking this, a chill ran down my spine. I picked up my phone, about to call Shinemo, but a hand appeared and snatched it away. Xiaoli called me to come to the hospital. "Wu, are you okay?" Shinemo looked at the video playing on my phone, frowning. "You know about this?" "Shinemo, I need a favor." I grabbed Shinmo's arm, sitting up in bed. I suddenly remembered something important. "Can you drive me to the tattoo parlor?" "Why go to the shop?" Shinemo tried to stop me. "Don't move. If anything happens to you, I can't face Xiaoli. I need to check the surveillance for something." Tears brimming, I said, "If anything happens to Xiaoli, I can't bear it. Please." Shinemo eventually relented. "All right, I'll take you." In the dim hospital parking garage, Shinemo helped me walk slowly. He apologized, saying he parked farther today. When we reached the car, Shinemo opened the door to put down his bag. I stared at the wet footprints circling Shinmo's car, a bad feeling growing inside me. Click, the opposite door closed. I saw Shinmo lying in the back seat through the window, and a tall figure standing opposite the car. I took a step back, my throat tightening, unable to make a sound. Guyan leisurely lit a cigarette, taking a deep inhale before exhaling slowly. He looked at me, smiling through the smoke. "Where are you going, sis?" "Let me drive you." I had barely taken a few steps before he grabbed me. He held me like a hawk, his cold fingers pressing against my neck's artery. It felt like a warning that he could snap my neck with one hand if he wanted to. As a private car approached, I ready to call for help. But he leaned in, whispering in my ear, "Sure, if you want to save Dr. Xiao, you'll have to cooperate." I clenched my fists, watching the private car drive past us. Satisfied, Guyan held my hand. "Let's go, sis." I followed Guyan into the car, glancing at Shinemo in the back seat. "What did you do to my friend?" "Nothing. It's like he's passed out from drinking." Guyan smiled. "He'll be fine after a nap." Guyan buckled my seatbelt, coaxing me like a child. "What's wrong, sis?" "Don't look like that, it makes me feel guilty." "Did you post that video online?" "Yes, Dr. Zhao's heroic rescue had little impact. I changed the title to make him famous." Guyan spoke as if nothing had happened, his tone light, while I felt as if I had fallen into an ice pit. But his punch was too light. Scum like your brother deserves to die. Guyan's eyes darkened, snuffing out his cigarette. Who told him to keep bullying you? So you are the one who stabbed my brother? Who else? Guyan chuckled. Your Dr. Xiao only knows how to save people with a small knife. It was indeed him. He injured my brother and framed Xiaoli and placed a camera outside my door. But what was his motive? To monitor or to spy? If it was to monitor, then I was right. There must be a camera at the tattoo parlor too. Otherwise, Guyan couldn't have known about the tattoo. Because I had designed it on my home computer, no one else could have seen it. I asked Guyan, where are you taking me? He smiled. I've always wanted to invite you to my place. Would you do me the honor tonight? 40 minutes later, the car stopped in a private garage. Guyan's home was a single-family house with a private pool and garden. This was completely different from what he said when he applied at my shop. Perhaps he had been disguising himself from the start. But what was his purpose in getting close to me? I was sure I had never met Guyan before. Welcome to my home, sis. Guyan left Shen and Mo tied up in the garage, then opened my door, intending to carry me. I refused. He didn't mind, smiling as he pulled me up, forcing me to drape my arm around his neck. The other day, this was how you left in front of me. He carried you, and you didn't even look back. Sis, do you know how I felt then? Guyan carried me step by step into his home. He took me to a room without a balcony and drew all the curtains. The room was dark, Guyan sitting in the shadows, pouring me a glass of water. Sis, let me show you something interesting. He sat next to me, turning on a projector. The white wall displayed a slideshow, showing photos of me as a model, from childhood to now. They kept alternating. Guyan was captivated, his eyes filled with obsession. Sis, happy 10th anniversary. He paused the slideshow on a recent photo I had posted on social media. Originally, it was a photo of Xiaoli and me, but now Xiaoli was replaced with Guyan. He pointed at the altered photo, smiling. I've liked you for 10 years. I bought everything you endorsed, every magazine you appeared in. I've spent nearly $1 million on you. But that doctor? What has he done for you? Has he loved you as long as I have? Guyan leaned in, his lip ring gleaming coldly. Disgusted, I raised my hand to strike him, but he caught it, pinning it behind me. His hand slipped under my shirt, taking the phone I had hidden. Recording. Guyan's face darkened, turning off the phone and throwing it into the fish tank. His look was sinister. Were you planning to call the police? Yes, you should be the one getting arrested. You did all this, why frame Xiaoli? Why do you think? He approached me, lifting his shirt. Seeing the countless tattoos of my face on him, I felt a chill, my body turning cold. Guyan was truly insane. He shouted, when I found out you wanted to open a tattoo parlor, I went out and learned. I was by your side every day, walking with you to this day. Why didn't you notice me? As if suppressing his emotions for too long, Guyan lost control, turning on the tattoo machine, his eyes red and fixated on my belly. Half crying, half laughing, he coaxed, sis, tattoo my face on yourself, okay? Or at least my name. Terrified by his behavior, I tried to escape when he turned to grab a rope. But he pushed me back on the bed. Guyan, don't come near me. I screamed in despair. Miraculously, the bedroom door was kicked open and several police officers rushed in. Xiaoli was with them, landing a punch on Guyan. Caught off guard, Guyan fell onto the glass coffee table. Blood poured from his forehead, but he seemed indifferent, smiling at Xiaoli. Why aren't you at the police station? How do you have time to come here? Guyan. Xiaoli's eyes were cold. No, I should call you Gu Xiaoyan, the head of Lin Wuwu's fan club. Xiaoli looked at the photos and fan items all over the room, disgusted. Over the years, you've pretended to be a female fan, sneaking into Lin Wu's life, stealing her daily photos. At the same time, you used countless male accounts to post those photos online, pretending to date her. Hearing Xiaoli's words, I looked at Gu Yan in disbelief. You were the sister Yan in the fan club? Gu Yan laughed. There are so many fans in the club. Why suspect me? Because I was also in the fan club. Both Gu Yan and I were stunned. Xiaoli continued, Lin Wuwu is simple and likes to share her life in the fan club. I had to make sure there were no perverts like you pretending to be female fans. Gu Yan couldn't help but curse. Xiaoli, you're a man too. Isn't it the same for you to pretend to be a female fan? It's not the same. With me, she will always have special privileges. I looked at Xiaoli. So that day when you said female friend about Gu Yan in the hospital, you had already noticed something was wrong? No. It was only after I saw the suspicious tattoo on his waist that I was certain. Xiaoli held my hand, saying, so after receiving that strange call last night, I reported it to the police in advance. To avoid alerting the enemy, I had to play along. But I worried about you being alone in the hospital, so I called Shen and Mo. I never expected things would turn out like this. Speaking of this, Xiaoli's eyes turned red. I took out a piece of candy from my pocket and put it in his mouth. Little brother, you've done enough for me. As a token of my gratitude, have some candy. He was slightly stunned, then gently held my neck, kissing me with the taste of candy. A kiss with the flavor of milk candy, very sweet. We were reluctant to part when the ambulance finally arrived. The medical staff successfully took Shinemo, and the police cars gradually left. Today's events and the troubles that had plagued me for years were finally behind us. On the way home, I relaxed, leaning against Xiao Li's shoulder. Xiao Li asked, "Are you sure you don't want to go back to the hospital?" "No." I yawned. "I just want to sleep in Dr. Zhao's arms." "Alright, then let's go home. If you could also tell me your undercover name in my fan club, it would be even better." Xiao Li hesitated, then answered, "Fairy Drinking Dew, Xiao Lily." I couldn't help but laugh, my incision hurting. Xiao Li frowned. "Be careful." "Ha ha ha ha. So that soft girl who always sent cat emojis was you." Xiao Li said, "Guyan was very cautious as the group leader. It wasn't easy to infiltrate your group. So, did you cute your way through?" "Something like that." Xiao Li listened to my laughter, his lips curving upward. As he shifted gears, he held my hand. "Woo-woo." He said, "When you're better, let's get married." I was still laughing at his username, but suddenly hearing this, I froze. Xiao Li anxiously frowned. "What's wrong? Why so sudden? Is it because—" I stared at his profile, not finishing my sentence. "Because of what?" Xiao Li's Adam's apple moved under his shirt collar. He seemed anxious. I smiled. "Is it because you have our baby?" Xiao Li's grip on my hand tightened. "Lin Wu, do you really want a baby?" "If you want, we can, but let's get married first." I thought of Xiao Li being beaten by his mom as a child, and I couldn't help but shiver. "Will your parents like someone like me?" "You'll find out after meeting them. My mom has wanted to meet you for a long time." I was stunned. "What? Your mom wants to meet me?" Xiao Li said his mom wanted to meet me when she was free, but I didn't expect her to be so free. The next morning, I met Xiao Li's mom in my living room. A middle-aged woman with fashionable curly hair, wearing a floral dress. I was speechless. Where was the elegant, aloof teacher from a prestigious school? I was worried that my dyed hair and manicured nails wouldn't impress her, but she immediately praised, "Your hair color makes you look so fair, and the French gradient nails are so classy. Which salon did you go to? Introduce me to the technician. Let's go together next time." I was stunned. I didn't understand. In my childhood memories, Xiao Li's mom was always elegant, wearing long, knee-length dresses in jade green or white. When neighbors greeted her, she would just nod coolly. But the woman in front of me could perform a monologue, her laughter crisp and clear. Still in a daze, Xiao Li's mom placed a large gold Buddha pendant around my neck. "I heard you were in the hospital, so I bought this for you. Gold is good for a woman's health." "Oh, and these too." Soon, the coffee table was piled high with bird's nest, ginseng, and other supplements. Finally, Xiao Li's mom took out a large bag of white rabbit candies from her bag. "Sweetie, I know you and Xiao Li bonded over these. So, I bought a bag to give you." "Sweetie." "Yes, Xiao Li calls you that in his diary. Don't you like it?" Mrs. Xiao thought for a moment, then looped her arm through mine, laughing. "How about I call you sister from now on?" After calling me sister, she started chatting about gossip. She talked about Xiao Li's allergies as a child, his teenage crush diaries, and our wedding date. Wait. Looking at Xiao Li, who was quietly smiling across from us, I realized I had been set up. Over the next while, Xiao Li's mom visited frequently, each time bringing something and helping with chores and cooking. One day, I couldn't help but ask Xiao Li, "Why did your mom's personality change so much? She became so lively and cheerful." My mom always wanted a daughter. When she used to hit my dad and me, it was because she was mad at my dad for not giving her a daughter. And my mom's elegance was an act. After my grandma passed, her true nature came out. Xiao Li hugged me, saying, in short, no sons, no living with in-laws, and beating her husband daily. I see. I laughed. This in-law is great. 10 months later, Xiao Li and I got married. On our wedding day, my mom showed up with my disabled brother, trying to cause a scene. But my mother-in-law pointed at her nose, expertly mixing Chinese and English curses. My uneducated mom couldn't even retort. Just as she was about to slap her thigh and start crying, my 6-foot-tall, muscular father-in-law lifted her with one hand and threw her out. He pounded his chest, saying, "Daughter-in-law, you're part of the Xiao family now. Don't worry, Dad's got your back." Touched, I asked Xiao Li, "Was Dad a PE teacher?" Xiao Li placed the ring on my finger, smiling. "No, he taught music." I couldn't help but laugh like a donkey. Feeling awkward, my mother-in-law took the mic and shouted, "Bestie, you're always the prettiest." Seeing my in-laws cheer for me, and the guests' smiling faces, I teared up. Xiao Li lifted my veil, kissing me. As we embraced, he whispered, "Remember the wish we made on the candy wrappers? It's come true today." I looked at him, smiling. So has mine. From then on, I had a home in him. We had a lifetime of sweetness ahead.